Welcome to the Man of Recaps. It's The Walking Dead Season 6. It starts with Rick in front of this whole quarry full of zombies that have been trapped in here. How did this situation happen? Well, let's recap. Rick's got this hot new girlfriend next door, but she's got a husband, so they have a fight, and then he accidentally kills this guy, so Rick has to kill him. Rick's friend Morgan shows up. He met him in Season 1, but then in Season 3 he was crazy, but now he's not that crazy. He does have some bow staff skills. Anyway, they're out in the woods burying a body, and they find the big quarry full of zombies. It's like, oh, this is bad. So Rick's like, hey, we need to get those zombies out of there before they eventually escape and overrun the town. And the town leader Deanna's like, yeah, Rick, I trust you now. We're going to go with your plan. So they sort of let them out slowly, and they're going to drive them away with these cars, and they create these barriers so that they get herded in the right direction. It's going really well for a while until there's these horror horns coming back from the city, so all the zombies are going back there now. What's going on at the town? No, it's under attack by the wolf pack. They're the W4 head people, and they got this truck. They crash it into the wall, and that's where the horn comes from. These guys manage to shut it off eventually. Carol has to do the W. She'll blend in. She goes to the armory and gets some guns, so she chases them all off. Carl's got his new girlfriend, but she's like, this town's done for. I'm better on my own, so she leaves them the note, just survive somehow, and as we learn from her flashback, that's her motto. And Morgan finds the Wolfpack guy hiding who accosted him in the woods, and he manages to subdue him, though. The group is running back to town. Rick's like, you guys keep going. I'm going to take the RV, try to lead some of the zombies away. So the gang runs into some zombie troubles where some more extras get eaten, and then Glenn ends up on top of the dumpster with this guy who's like, oh, I'm out. I shoot myself. Oh, and his body, it pulls Glenn down with him, and he's being ripped apart, eaten by zombies. No, Glenn, there's no way he could possibly survive this. Rick makes it to the RV, but he runs into some Wolfpack trouble, shoots up the RV, and now it doesn't run anymore, and there's a bunch more zombies coming, so he has to run back to town just ahead of the herd, and unfortunately now Alexandria is completely surrounded. Daryl and these others are still leading the majority of the zombie herd away. They finally get far enough and decide to turn back to town, but then they're getting shot at. Oh, so they get split up. Abraham and Sasha end up together. They sort of start flirting, by the way. It's good for them, and they also find a rocket launcher. Daryl ends up alone in the woods where this guy takes him prisoner because he thinks he's part of this group that's chasing him, but when Daryl finds his opportunity, he makes an escape, but then it's like, oh, it's some insulin in here. You can have your insulin back. I'm a nice guy. And when the actual people chasing him come, Daryl helps him escape, but then the hot girl gets eaten, and then it's like, okay, you guys can come back to my village, but when it finds out his village might be overrun with zombies, they're like, no offense, man, we're just going to take your bike, and we're taking your crossbow too. No, that's his whole shtick. Luckily, Daryl finds a convenient fuel truck nearby, and he picks up his friends. They're on the way home, but they're accosted by this motorcycle gang who's like, yeah, our boss is named Negan. Who's Negan? Well, we're not going to find out now because Daryl puts the rocket launcher to good use. Hey, it's Glenn! Yes, he's alive! The blood and guts with the other guys on top of him, and he managed to hide under the dumpster for a while until all the zombies left. He meets up with Carl's girlfriend, who runs away because she thinks she's better on her own, but then he catches up with her. He's like, yo, that's dumb. Come back to the village with me. Of course, it's overrun by zombies. That's unfortunate. Inside the town, Morgan's got his Wolfpack guy prisoner, and he tells him his backstory of how he was crazy for a while, killing zombies and humans alike, until he finds the bald Big Lebowski, who knocks him out and keeps him locked up for a while until he cools down, teaches him about not killing and also bow staff skills, but one day he gets bitten, and so Morgan walked off on his own. So Morgan's like, I don't kill people anymore, and if I can be redeemed, you can too. Wolfpack guy's like, yeah, maybe, but I'm dying of this infected cut, so it doesn't really matter. There's a new doctor in the town, this girl Denise. She's just a psychiatrist, but it's the closest thing they got. She's way over her head though with surgery, so she befriends Tara, who's like, hey, you can do it. She was hit by the grenade, by the way, last season. She's fine though. Hey, these two are lesbians, so they actually start hooking up. Anyway, Morgan's like, hey doc, I got a secret prisoner. Can you come take care of him? But then Carol sees her going there, and so she chases her down and is like, hey, what are you hiding down here? But just then, the clock tower falls down on the wall. Whoops, what? So there's zombies overrunning the town. Everyone hides wherever they can. Denise is stuck with the Wolfpack guy, and she figures she may as well treat him. But then Morgan and Carol get in a fight about whether they should just kill him or not, which of course allows him to escape and take Denise hostage. Over in Rick's girlfriend's house, they're having a hard time keeping all the zombies out. They manage to block the stairs for now, grab a couple zombies, and do the season 1 trick of rubbing zombie guck all over themselves so they'll blend in. The leader, Deanna, though, she got bit, so she makes a final stand. The rest of the gang makes it out, though. They're blending in pretty well. They're on their way to escape. But then Rick's girlfriend's son starts drawing too much attention, and he gets eaten by zombies. And then she starts drawing too much attention, and she gets eaten by zombies too. And Rick's like, we never even got to bang. And then his son's like, I'm gonna shoot you because it's your fault. But Michonne stabs him, and he shoots him. But then it hits Carl in the eye. Oh, what? So they're running away now, trying to get to the doctor. But the doctor's still with this guy, and as they're escaping, he's like, oh man, hey, I'm gonna save you from the zombie. So maybe he's redeemed himself, but he gets bit, and he's like, oh, come on by. Oh, but he's shot by Carol, who doesn't care that he's redeemed. They make it to the infirmary and start trying to fix Carl's eye, and Rick's like, I'm gonna go out and just kill all the zombies myself. Michonne's like, hey, I'm coming too. And so the rest of the gang is out there just trying to fight zombies, and the other people in town are like, oh, I guess we're just making a stand right here, taking them out one by one. Glenn comes in, he finds Maggie all trapped, so he draws the zombies away, makes a final stand, and luckily the gang comes back with some automatic weapons, shoots them up, and it's like, man, good thing we found this fuel truck. We could just dump a bunch of it in the lake and blow it up on fire. So zombies are super dumb. They all walk into the fire, kill themselves, and luckily the day is saved. I mean, a lot of people died, but none of the main characters. Even Carl survives. He gets a cool eye patch now. Now, hey, who wants a little romance arc? We've got Sasha here, still flirting with Abraham. This is awkward, though, because he's been dating Rosita ever since we met him back in Season 4. I've never mentioned Rosita before because she's been entirely irrelevant. Mostly she just stands in the background of Abraham while he talks, and occasionally looks really sexy. She's just a generally valued member of the group, though. Anyway, he decides to break up with her, which makes her super sad. For the rest of the group, though, life is good these days. Rick and Daryl on a supply run. They find this truck full of food and stuff, which is awesome. Then they stop for this vending machine because the doctor's like, hey, I want to get get an orange soda for my girlfriend who likes orange soda. But then they're found this guy. Oh, he's like, what's up? I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just a guy. My name's Jesus. What's up? So they're like, huh, that guy was weird. But then some gunshots out back. It's just some firecrackers. Yes, it's a distraction. Jesus stole their keys. He's taking their truck. So they run after him like Legolas and Aragorn hunting Uruk-hai. Luckily, he gets a flat tire, so they jump him. But he's got like epic karate skills. They have guns though, so they subdue him and tie him to the side of the road. But then he untaught himself. He's on the roof. What? Who is this guy? So they're like playing chasey down in the field, and they're fighting in the truck, but it puts it in neutral. It rolls back into the lake. No, the truck full of food. Jesus is knocked out, so they decide they're going to take him back home for now. Rick and Michonne, by the way, living as platonic roommates, and as tends to happen, one night is not so platonic, and Michonne's like, wait a second, are we about to bang? Yes, they do. That's pretty funny. And Jesus gets free, and he's like, hey, what's up? Nice banging. He explains he's from another survivor community, a lot like theirs, and his job is to go facilitate trade negotiations. He's like, look, you guys got a lot of guns, we got a lot of food, I think we could do business. So the group goes to check out his place. First, they find a car accident of his guys, so they have to take out some zombies and save some of his friends. One of them is a baby doctor, by the way, which is convenient for Maggie because she and Glenn are pregnant. Hooray! And then they make it to the Hilltop Colony. It's a pretty good spot. They do have a lot of food and stuff. They are low on guns. They've just got an old-fashioned forge where they're like making spears to defend themselves. They go and meet the boss man. Rick's like, hey Maggie, I nominate you to be Secretary of State. You go talk to him. So she's like, hey, food, guns, let's make a trade. He's like, nah, I'm a dick. I'm gonna drive like a really hard bargain for some reason. Just then, some of the guys come back and boss man's like, hey, what happened over at Negan's? And it's like, Negan took one of our guy hostages and he wants me to kill you. Oh, so Rick has to step in and he like kills this guy. And he's like, okay, who is this Negan guy? So Jesus explains how Negan's gang has got this protection racket going. They demand like half of all their food and supplies and stuff in exchange for not killing them all. And Rick's like, well, how many guys does Negan have? And it's like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 maybe. Rick's like, we could kill 20 or 30 guys for breakfast. So Rick's got a plan to ambush Negan's gang. They're going to find a zombie head that looks sort of like the leader of Hilltop Colony, send a guy in to deliver it so when the guards open the door, they could bust and kill the guards, sneak in quietly while they're all sleeping, and like murder them all in their sleep, which is morally questionable, but they do it. Of course, one guy does sound the alarm, so they have to have a firefight. Luckily, our group comes out on top, and the Negan's compound is secured. This guy is a character on the show, by the way. He and Tara are going on some sort of supply run, so we'll see what they're up to next season. And one of the gang members tries to escape on Daryl's bike that was stolen from him earlier. Then they're contacted on the walkie by some more of Negan's gang who have Maggie and Carol prisoner. Oh no. So Maggie and Carol are hostages. This chick's trying to organize an exchange with Rick, but she's really setting him up for an ambush. Carol ends up with this rosary somehow, and she like pretends to be meek and stuff, but then she uses it to cut her way free and kill her captives. And then when the reinforcements come, she lights them on fire and watches them burn alive too, which makes her uncomfortable with killing now. Anyway, their friends come and rescue them, and Rick's like, alright, so we killed the entire gang. Which one of them was Negan? And this guy's like, haha, I'm Negan, loser. And Rick's like, oh good, that makes it easy. And then boom, shoot you in the head. So the Hilltop Colony gives them lots of food in exchange for taking out Negan, and life is really good for a while. These guys are going out on a run to get some medicine and stuff. Denise finds an orange soda. She's like, oh man, Tara's gonna love this. Shot in the eye. What? Yes, they're surrounded, led by this guy who stole Daryl's bike earlier on his crossbow, and apparently he's joined Negan's gang and also like been in a fire. And he has Eugene too, because he was nearby at like a foundry, because he's got this awesome plan to manufacture bullets. Well, that would be great. But anyway, he's like, yeah, you guys are gonna pay, take us back to your thing. But then Eugene's like, oh, dick bite. Oh, what? That's crazy. And Abraham's there, and they like take them all out, chase him away. Daryl's like, I'm gonna go chase after him, and they're like, well, we gotta chase down Daryl. So this gang's out in the woods, but they are ambushed by this guy, and they are all taken prisoner. Carol's decided she doesn't want to kill people anymore, so she's going off on her own. But some of Negan's gang finds her and like blows out her tires, and she has to pretend to be meek again before she shoots them all up, and like feels even worse about it. There is one survivor though. He chases after her. Rick and Morgan are going after Carol too, but Morgan's like, hey, I'm gonna go teach her about the ways not killing. You can go home. So when the bad guy catches up to her, Morgan's like, hey, I don't kill people, but then he's like, nah, do it. So Morgan's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. And Carol's hurt, by the way. And then these Game of Thrones looking guys come up. They're on like a horse and they got armor and spears, and they're like, hey, we're friendly guys. We'll come and help you. Back in town, Maggie gets a haircut, but oh, the baby, there's something really horribly wrong. They're gonna drive her over to Hilltop Colony to see the baby doctor. Carl's girlfriend wants to come, but he's like, no, I'm gonna lock you in the closet to protect you. So they're on their way over, but the road is blocked by some more of Negan's gang who are just like, sup? And Rick's like, we're gonna back off slowly and go a different route. But this other road's blocked too, and it's like, Negan's gang is a little bit bigger than we thought. In fact, another road's blocked. It's a lot bigger than they thought. And Rick's like, we made a huge mistake. So it's like, Eugene, you take the RV. We're gonna try to sneak through the woods on foot. But then they're caught immediately because even more of Negan's gang is here. And they're all like whistling because this is the thing they do. And so our crew is like down on their knees, and it's time to meet the man himself, Negan. Now he's the friendly, smiley type of psychopath, and he explains he's not going to kill them all right now. He wants them to live so they can continue making food and stuff so they can give it to him. It's part of the protection racket. One of them does have to die for insolence though, and he literally plays eeny, meeny, miny, mo to pick which one, and we don't see who he picks because it's first person point of view, and he beats his head in with a baseball bat, and whoever it is, this person is 100% dead, but we're not going to find out till next season.